So in addressing Greek, civilization, culture, and by and large Western civilization, one of the biggest inventions, developments, is democracy. So why is it that democracy developed in Athens? Now, when we look at Athens, it's the most powerful city-state in a place called Attica. And Attica is a triangular region, about 900 square miles, so, three-fourths the size of Yosemite National Park. There's mountains on two sides, and the sea is on the other. Now, Athens is powerful because, as you see on screen, it has a mighty citadel called the Acropolis. And Acropolis translates to high city, about 150 meters above sea level, and it was nearly impregnable. So it's about as high as the Washington Monument. Now, you combine this with pretty bleak geography, and, this really gives Athens a true independent spirit similar to all other Greek city-states. Now, you take the word democracy. It's actually a combination of two Greek words, demos, kratos. Demos being the common people, kratos being strength. So demographics, deals with the people of a region. We can still see a lot of these words with us today. And ultimately, it was really only Athens that practiced what we would call direct democracy on a large scale. Now, because of this, they really felt that they were superior to other Greek-speaking city-states, and they continually set out to prove it. So according to Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, he thought that the perfect size for a city-state to practice democracy was one in which all citizens could be viewed when gathered together in one place. Plato thought about 5,000 people. Representative democracy, or the concept that you elect leaders to speak on behalf of the people, that's pretty foreign to Athenians because when this idea was introduced, all eligible citizens would gather and vote in public. Now, it's important to remember that when we say democracy, common people, strength, we have the exclusion of the people you see on screen. Enslaved were excluded, women are excluded from the vote, and that phrase metic, that's foreigners who are living in a specific city-state. So that's the why it develops. In terms of the how, we have the concept of the agora, and you can see the ruins of the Athenian agora on screen. It's an open-air marketplace where you can buy goods and converse. It's the social and political center of the city-state. Now, it either translates to meeting place or assembly, it depends on who you ask, and the Agora of Athens was actually in, the backdrop of the Acropolis. You can see it from when you go to this place. So there's a lawmaker named Solon who's going to make it possible for anyone to bring a lawsuit on anyone's behalf, which means that if you have the powers of persuasion, you're hired to prosecute cases. This means that the agora is used as a place for those to practice their oratory. So you use it as a chance to maybe think quickly on your feet, and the best are hired. So this is where we see that those rhetorical powers are really valued in democracy. Now, the man on screen is Pericles. He assumes power at age 33, and he's pretty much the most influential Athenian leader for the next 33 years. He alters democracy by introducing a citizenship law where both parents need to be full citizens to pass it on to their children. Previously, you needed your father to be a citizen, but there were so many non-citizens living in Athens that he wanted to turn citizens into more of a selective group. Now, he also decides that elected officials are going to be appointed by lot. So that means it is completely random. His goal is to provide every citizen with the opportunity to participate in daily life. And this is also why elected officials are now going to be paid for their services. If you are not wealthy, you're not advantaged, now you have the chance to fulfill your civic duty. Any man who's 30 or older is eligible for these positions, and frankly, anyone 30 or older is now eligible for the jury. It expands the number of jurors in certain cases. Now, in any democracy, literacy is key. Any democratic society must be functionally literate. We know that the Greeks as a whole were illiterate until the 8th century BC when the Greek alphabet was adopted. Now, the Athenian constitution placed a priority on participation, accountability, and openness. And so the diverse economy of Athens also required systems of reporting and documentation. Because of this, citizens need basic math skills as well as being able to read and write. So this is something that's somewhat unique to Athens. Now the negatives? Well, aristocrats want to return to tyranny or rule by one, and they feel that open government is going to lead to mob mentality and maybe rash decisions being made. The philosopher Plato just completely disregarded direct democracy after his mentor, Socrates, was treated. And Socrates was accused of corruption. He was sentenced to either exile or death by hemlock poisoning, and he chose death. So in his estimation, any system that would lead to the execution of one of the wisest men in Athens, maybe it's something we should think twice about.